Welcome to Kansas City Chiefs Today, your go-to source for all things Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes' record-breaking contract has sent shockwaves through the NFL, but what does it mean for Chris Jones' future with the Chiefs? In this video, we're diving deep into the financial fallout of Mahomes' deal, Jones' contract demands, and the tough choices Kansas City faces. Will the Chiefs keep their defensive star, or could Jones be on the move? From salary cap struggles to potential trade-offs, we'll break it all down and predict what's next for our beloved Chiefs. Stick around for expert analysis, surprising insights, and a look at the future of this dynasty. Let's get started. Patrick Mahomes' 10-year, $450 million contract, restructured in March 2025, is the largest in NFL history. This deal, running through 2031, guarantees Mahomes $210.6 million from 2023 to 2026, but it's not just about the money. It's about cap space. The Chiefs, led by GM Brett Veach, freed up $49.4 million in 2025 cap space by restructuring Mahomes and Chris Jones' contracts, a move reported by ESPN's Field Yates. However, Mahomes' cap hit is projected to jump by nearly $30 million in 2025, per over the cap, eating into the Chiefs' $279.2 million salary cap. This financial juggling act limits Kansas City's ability to sign free agents or extend key players like Jones. Understanding these constraints is crucial because every dollar spent on Mahomes affects the roster. The Chiefs are in a tight spot, and Jones' contract talks are feeling the heat. Chris Jones is the heartbeat of the Chiefs' defense. A three-time Super Bowl champion and All-Pro defensive tackle, Jones recorded 10.5 sacks in 2024, anchoring Steve Spagnuolo's unit. His ability to disrupt quarterbacks is unmatched, making him one of the NFL's elite defenders. Jones' current 5-year, $158.75 million deal, signed in 2024, runs through 2028, but he's seeking an extension to match the market for top defensive players like Aaron Donald, who earned $31.6 million annually. Jones' camp likely wants a deal in the $32 to $35 million per year range, given his impact. Compared to players like Quinnen Williams, $23.8 million AAV, Jones' value is undeniable. However, his high demands clash with the Chiefs' cap constraints, especially with Mahomes' massive hit. Can Kansas City afford to pay Jones what he's worth without sacrificing other talent? That's the million-dollar question, or rather, the $35 million question. The Chiefs' salary cap is a puzzle, and Mahomes' contract is the biggest piece. With a $279.2 million cap in 2025, Mahomes and Jones alone accounted for $101 million before their restructures, per Sports Illustrated. Even after creating $49.4 million in space, the Chiefs face challenges. Extending Jones at, say, $34 million per year could push future cap hits to unsustainable levels, similar to the New Orleans Saints cap disasters. The Chiefs also need to consider Pro Bowl guard Trey Smith's franchise tag, $23.4 million, and Travis Kelce's $19.8 million cap hit. Every dollar spent on Jones limits funds for free agents like Jalen Moore or Christian Fulton, signed in 2025. The ripple effect is real. Overpaying Jones could force cuts or trades, weakening the roster. Kansas City must balance rewarding their star defender with maintaining a championship-caliber team. Tough choices lie ahead. One option for the Chiefs is to extend Chris Jones with a blockbuster deal, potentially $34 million per year over 4 years. This would keep their defensive anchor in Kansas City, ensuring Spagnuolo's scheme remains elite. Jones' presence is critical for stopping run-heavy teams like the Ravens or passing attacks led by Josh Allen. However, this move would eat into the cap, limiting signings for depth players or offensive weapons for Mahomes. The Chiefs could restructure Jones' deal again, converting salary into a signing bonus to spread the cap hit, as they did in 2025. But, as Heavy.com notes, repeated restructures push costs to future years, risking a cap crunch by 2028. Extending Jones keeps the Chiefs competitive now, but it could force them to rely on draft picks for depth, a gamble given their recent draft success. Is locking in Jones worth the long-term risk? Let's explore the alternatives. Letting Chris Jones hit free agency is a painful but possible scenario. If Jones' demands exceed $35 million annually, the Chiefs might let him walk to preserve cap flexibility. Losing Jones would weaken the defense, as no current player matches his pass rush dominance. The Chiefs could redirect funds to sign multiple role players or extend younger stars like Nick Bolton. However, replacing Jones' production is tough. Free agents like Christian Wilkins command $25 million per year, and draft picks take time to develop. The fanbase would be furious, as seen on X when Jones held out in 2023, but financial discipline could ensure long-term sustainability. The Chiefs' offense, led by Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hollywood Brown, could carry the team, but a weaker defense might cost them in the playoffs. Letting Jones go is a high-stakes move that prioritizes future cap health over immediate dominance. What about trading him? Trading Chris Jones is a nuclear option, but it's on the table. The Chiefs traded All-Pro guard Joe Thuney in 2025 for a fourth-round pick, per Daily Mail, showing they're open to bold moves. Trading Jones could net a first-round pick and cap relief, allowing Kansas City to bolster the roster with younger, cheaper talent. A team like the Bears or Commanders, desperate for a defensive star, might offer a hefty package. However, losing Jones would disrupt the locker room and fanbase, as he's a vocal leader alongside Mahomes. The Chiefs' 2025 signings of Jalen Moore and Elijah Mitchell show they can pivot, but trading Jones risks derailing their Super Bowl hopes. The cap space gained could fund extensions for Trey Smith or a new receiver for Mahomes, but the defense would take a hit. Trading Jones is a last resort, but it's a possibility if talks stall. The Chiefs have a history of savvy contract moves. GM Brett Veach has restructured Mahomes' deal 4 times since 2021, per ESPN, and secured Jones' $158.75 million contract in 2024 with $95 million guaranteed. Their strategy prioritizes keeping core players while maintaining cap flexibility. Factors influencing Jones' deal include his age, 31 in 2025, market trends for defensive tackles, and the Chiefs' Super Bowl window. Veach will likely push for a front-loaded extension to minimize future cap hits, as suggested by SI.com. The Chiefs' commitment to winning is clear. They retained Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster in 2025 despite cap woes. However, if Jones' demands break the bank, Veach might pivot to cheaper alternatives, as seen with L'Jarius Sneed's trade in 2024. The likelihood of keeping Jones is high, but it hinges on his willingness to take a team-friendly deal. Jones' contract decision will ripple across the Chiefs' roster. A high-dollar extension could force cuts or trades of players like Drew Tranquill or Kareem Hunt, signed in 2025, to stay under the cap. Alternatively, letting Jones go frees up funds to extend Trey Smith or sign a top cornerback to replace Christian Fulton. The Chiefs' 2025 moves, like re-signing Nick Bolton, show they prioritize young talent, but losing Jones could shift resources to the offense. Mahomes' contract already limits flexibility, and Kelsey's $19.8 million cap hit looms large. As Marca notes, the Chiefs face a salary cap crunch, with 20 free agents in 2025. Jones' deal could dictate whether Kansas City remains a balanced contender or leans heavily on Mahomes' brilliance. The domino effect extends to the draft, where the Chiefs might target defensive tackles if Jones departs. Every move counts in this high-stakes game. The outcome of Jones' contract talks will shape the Chiefs' future. Keeping Jones ensures defensive stability, critical for competing against AFC rivals like the Bengals and Bills. However, a massive deal could hamstring the cap by 2028, limiting signings when Mahomes hit peaks. If Jones leaves, the Chiefs might rebuild around Mahomes, Kelsey, and young stars like Xavier Worthy, but a weaker defense could end their dynasty. The Chiefs' front office praised 03/12/2024 at 8:30 p.m. plus 06, March 12, 2024. The Chiefs aim for a third straight Super Bowl, but cap issues could force a new era. As Yahoo Sports notes, Kansas City's $49.4 million cap relief in 2025 helped, but long-term sustainability is key. Without Jones, the Chiefs might lean on draft picks, a risk given their mixed draft history. The Mahomes-Jones saga will define whether Kansas City remains a juggernaut or faces a rebuild. So, what's the future for the Chiefs? If Chris Jones stays, Kansas City remains a Super Bowl favorite, with Mahomes and Jones leading a balanced roster. If he leaves, the Chiefs could pivot to an offense-heavy approach, leaning on Mahomes, Kelsey, and new weapons like Hollywood Brown. The cap relief from Jones' departure could fund a star receiver or lineman, but the defense would need a miracle to stay elite. Fans on X are split. Some demand Jones stays, others trust Veach's cap wizardry. The Chiefs' front office faces a defining moment: pay Jones and risk future cap hell, or let him go and bet on Mahomes' magic. Either way, Kansas City's dynasty is at a crossroads. Will they keep their core intact, or is a new era dawning? Drop your predictions in the comments. What should the Chiefs do with Jones? Let's keep this Chiefs Kingdom conversation going. That's a wrap on today's deep dive into Chris Jones' contract and the Mahomes factor. If you loved this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to Kansas City Chiefs Today, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on our Chiefs. Share this video with your fellow Chiefs Kingdom members, and let us know in the comments. Should the Chiefs pay Jones or let him go? Your support keeps this channel growing, so let's keep the conversation alive. Until next time, stay loud, stay proud, and go Chiefs!